Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, where we are here to nourish our souls. I'm Norah, the host of this program, Thoughts by Joanna Angelis through Divaldo Franco. This is the books we can see. I have context of the size, but friends, it is powerful. I'm going to share a story just to kind of get us into today's lesson. I'm going to go back to first grade. The teacher had a gift exchange for Christmas, and I remember I drew the name and I told my mom when it was time, wanted to get really nice gift, and I wanted to help her wrap the gift, put a bow, and took it to school. So on the day when we're opening up our gifts, we're going down and the teacher on the line, the teacher's passing out the gifts. I noticed something different from mine, friends. So I did not get a gift like my friends or the one that I gave that was in a beautiful wrapping. Instead, I got one of these pest dispensers with the candy. And I looked around and everybody was opening up their gifts. They got, different toys like a doll or a Barbie, a stuffed animal, a car, sports balls, or accessories, or even a board game. But I did not get anything. I got this. And yes, friends, that's me in first grade. So I cried. The teacher comes over and she's asking me what's wrong, and I said, "Look, this is all I got." And she says, "But Norah, you never know. At least your classmate brought the gift. What if this is all he had?" And I said, "But still, it's not fair. Why am I different than anyone else? Doesn't am I not appreciated?" Right? And of course, I said this in a child language, friends, at that time. So she goes to her desk and then she comes back and gives me like a big box of markers with some coloring books and everything. She says, "Here, you can enjoy this." I thanked her and I was still a little bit hurt, but of course I moved on. And I look back at this experience as a child, because it really set up a very strong foundation for me when it comes to gifts and my reactions when I receive something. Like, how would I react? And wherever this student colleague of mine he is, may he be blessed, because I truly learned a lesson as a child. But now in today's lesson, Joanna saying, let's talk about this, the adult version. It says here, "Let no one walk away from you empty-handed. Make sure the person takes his parting gifts a bit of your kindness or a sign of your peace." So as adults and in this lesson, we're not really talking about materialistic gifts, right? She's really more tuning in into this, like the sentiments, the emotions, the things that that we offer as a friend, as a partner, as a colleague, as a coworker, as a spiritist member, as a relative, parent, grandparent, etc. So many roles that we can take, right? And also, how are we? We can say in the energy, like how are we walking the day and the steps and interacting? Where are we? Are we being a me? We're taking and taking all the energy and all of this, or are we equally to giving out all of this goodness and energy, right? So that's the gift that we are going to be talking about today. So first, friends, we kind of have to have this foundation of like, well, what is a good gift, right? And so in the book Jesus in the Home, chapter 27, The Forgotten Gift. And in this beautiful chapter, again, Jesus, sitting down with the disciples, having their God at home, he's telling the story of this man who earned so much merit that he could literally ask for whatever he wanted. So Jesus shares in the story that he asked for things, right? Like youth, wealth, power, etc. But at the end of it all, he just couldn't feel or couldn't keep the gift long enough. He felt like something was missing. So Jesus ends the story that this is what this man learned. Youth is beautiful. Wealth is pleasing. Freedom is admirable. Power is brilliant. Intelligence is respectable. A blissful marriage is holy. Physical health is blessed. But if people do not have the courage in order to learn how to deal with the good and the bad things in human life, in order to learn how to stay on the pathway towards God, the temporary gifts of the transitory experience are of little use. So again, going into this balance of good and bad, asking for courage so that when things do come into our lives, like that's a divine gift in itself, so we can find that balance, that inner state of peace and tranquility and love and all those things that we are needing when we're in this pathway. So it is such a good reminder, just like Joanna is saying, right? Because in order for us to be able to give that, to share that, we do have to work on it ourselves first. Then there's this other part, friends, something for us to think about. In this book, The Art of Communicating by Thich Nhat Hanh, there's a chapter entitled The 6 Mantras of Loving Speech. Because if we go back to Joanna's message, right? And it calls for us to be like mature about this kind of gift giving. It kind of takes us into relationships already, right? And how are we communicating and interacting with each other? So in this chapter, the 6 mantras, we won't go into detail, but just to touch on them real quickly so we can make sense of it. The very first one that he says, and that's the foundation, is the I am here for you. He says that one, practice, 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 get it down. People need to know that you are there for them. Just like we want to feel safe with in our relationships, to know that someone's there for us, we need to be there for someone, right? The second one, he says, I know you are there and I am very happy. And he's like, on this second mantra, don't even get there if you haven't even practiced the first one. Because in order for you to go on that one, the person needs to know, you all need to feel each other's energy, in other words. And he says, and this gift, you can practice it when you are alive, but think beyond. If you're in a distant situation or even from the beyond, in the spiritual realm, to be able to feel each other's presence, to that right there it's a love connection and a beautiful gift. The third mantra is, I know you suffer and that's why I am here for you. This, he explains, right, that a lot of the times people that we love and care for, and they're going through situations, we might not be able to fix them. But having that connection, right, and telling them, I know you suffer and I am here for you, that is such a powerful manifestation of love and a gift that could be so life-changing, we can say, in the matters of life, friends. Then he goes on to the fourth mantra. The fourth mantra is interesting because it's not about the other person, but rather it's like me saying, I suffer, please help. In other words, Thich Nhat Hanh states, we need humility. We have been created by God and we all need each other. It's not me and I don't need any help. He's like, no, leave the pride aside. And when we need help, let the other person help you. And that mantra is so powerful. It is also love. The fifth one, he says, this is a happy moment. In this state that he talks about, right, Thich Nhat Hanh, it's such a beautiful mantra because, friends, isn't it wonderful when we know, like, there's that one person that we know they're always like calm, they're happy, they're put together. And this is our to-go person. Isn't that amazing? Well, Thich Nhat Hanh is saying we need to create those moments too, right? For others to say, we're celebrating this moment together. We're with each other. And I think it's such a beautiful gift to be able to be in this state and share the love. And the sixth mantra that Thich Nhat Hanh states, so it's a little hard, but it's important to remember this, and it really does elevate the communication in a relationship, where it is, you are partly right. So for example, we might have a romantic partner, right, who might say you are perfect, and Thich Nhat Hanh advises to tell this person, you are partly right, because there's another part of me that is not perfect. Or the other way around, he says, if someone really puts us down and does not find anything that that is good about us, or that brings us up, and he states, well, you are partly right, because there are things about me that are wonderful and amazing. And so looking at the context of these six mantras and connecting them to Joanna's message of a gift, it is very empowering to know, friends, that relationships are here to help us learn, but also for us to enjoy. So, friends, as we are ending today's lesson, this is a wonderful way to remember Joanna's words. Love is a gift. Let us take this gift. Let us be grateful. Let us share it. And let us think about all the ways that we can be of charity and service, starting within and then out with others. Dear friends, that is today's lesson. Thank you so much for always being here at Kardec Radio, for taking your time to listen to other programs, and let us remember that we are loved. Until next week, same time, same place. God bless you.